Hey everybody, welcome back to Runaway Rose. Today I'm going to show you what hitch we use to haul our travel trailer. It's a really nice one. I have 3 different weight distribution hitches, and this one is by far the nicest. So stick around and check it out. The folks over at Etrailer were kind enough to send us a new weight distribution hitch to haul our travel trailer so that we could show you, and I'm very excited to show you because it has been working great. What we have here is it's from WaySafe. It's called the middle weight from WaySafe. This hitch is rated for 12,500 pounds of towing and 1,250 pounds of tongue weight. And it's got the scale in it, which is what WaySafe is known for. So basically, you can just put the nose of your trailer down on the ball, and then it'll just show you what the weight of that the tongue weight is. And then once you get it on there, you can dial it in from there. But I just wanted to go ahead and show you like what this one is. This is the steel version, and I got the 2-inch shank on mine. They also offer it in a 2.5-inch shank, so if you want that works on your truck better, that is definitely an option. My particular truck has a 3-inch receiver, so I have a 3-inch to 2-inch reducer. So instead of using a 3-inch to 2.5 and a 2.5 to 2-inch reducer, using 2 reducers, I just have one that actually goes from 3 to 2. So not only that, but it actually gives me about an extra 4 or so inches of extension, and it's rated for 12,000 pounds, so it's plenty strong enough to use with this hitch. So with this hitch, I'm actually able to lower my tailgate down even with the electric jack in the front, so that's nice, by probably 4 or 5 inches. But this hitch, being steel, it is heavy, so that is something to consider. But I actually kind of prefer being steel just because steel is super strong. I have personally more confidence in that than aluminum. The weight rating on the gauge here actually goes all the way up to 5,000 pounds. So it's got the weight distribution bars here, and I'll show you how that attaches to the trailer here in just a moment. So once you put your trailer down on the ball and it gives you the tongue weight, there's an app from WaySafe that you just basically plug in some information. It asks for some measurements between the ball and the center of your rear axle, and then from the ball basically back to the center of your trailer axles, either in between the two if you have tandem, or the center of single axle. And you just basically get those measurements, and then you put in your gross vehicle weight rating for the camper, and you plug in the tongue weight on there, and then it tells you how much pressure that you need to dial this gauge up to. So like our camper had a tongue weight of 975 pounds. So once I plug that information into the app, it'll calculate where you should be. It gives you kind of a range. So it told me I needed to be at 2,400 pounds. So basically you take this, on this top of the hitch here, there's a 3/4 inch nut, and you can just adjust that. It comes with the tool to adjust that as well. Or you can just use a wrench like I did. And then as you tighten it, going clockwise, it'll increase the pressure on the gauge and on the ball. And then if you decrease it, obviously it decreases the pressure on the ball once you have the system fully set up. So here's what the hitch fully looks like attached without me in the way. So you can see the distribution bars that come all the way across. They mount to a bracket here, which this is actually the bracket that came with the system. However, this bar here that I had from our Fastaway E2 system is basically the same type of L bracket, and it uses the same clip here, which, matter of fact, this clip is from the WaySafe mount. So it's basically, that's how you get your friction, is rubbing on that resting area there. So that gives you the sway control. So since this is already in place, and you know, distance wise it worked out fine, I'm just going to leave this on here, and then that way I can actually use this one to hook up to our car hauler trailer. So That way I'll be able to use this system on both of our trailers without having to, move these brackets from one trailer to another. The system also does come with a very nice locking hitch pin. I have not used this yet, but it looks really nice. It feels like one of the most solid, substantial locks I've seen, so I'm excited to use that as well. On our WaySafe hitch, I decided to go with the 8-inch rise or drop shank on there. So you can get a 6-inch, an 8-inch, a 10-inch, I believe. So it just kind of depends on what your setup's going to be with your vehicle, your tow vehicle. I decided to go with the 8-inch, and I have it in the rise position right now, as you can see. But if you have a lifted truck or something like that, then I could use this in a drop position. So again, this is the 2-inch shank, so that way I can also use it with my Jeep or a half-ton truck or an SUV or something like that. If I needed to use just the hitch, I could do that. So it just makes it a little bit more universal. That's why I chose to go with the 2-inch. And then obviously you can see the gauge here. And then the bars here, they easily detach with these little clips here. They just pop those clips out, and then the bars come out, and then you can just store those away. So very nice setup. This is where you adjust the pressure on the gauge, and then there are some grease fittings throughout that'll help keep everything in great shape, because there's grease all up underneath here as well. So you can keep it greased, keep it in great shape for years to come. Super great, super strong system. Very happy with it, very excited to be using it. After putting several hundred miles on it, it just works like a champ, and it is absolutely the best weight distribution system I have personally ever used. It has been working great. Now I do have two other weight distribution systems. One of them is the old style where it has the bars that pop up in from the bottom. Then it has the chains that hang down from the trailer to connect it. Now that does not have so much of sway control, but it does distribute the weight of the trailer. I've never used that particular one on our camper. I use it on our car hauler. Now, and then I do have the one that came with this camper. It's a Fastway E2 is the name of that system, and Etrailer also carries that. That is a great option if you're looking to be a little bit more budget-friendly, cost-effective type system. So you can check that out on Etrailer, as well as the WaySafe here. I'll put links below to both the middleweight from WaySafe and the Fastway E2 system. That's a nice system too, but it's not as it doesn't dial it in and feel quite as solid, maybe you could say, as this one. I wanted to go ahead and get several hundred miles on it before I even spoke about it, and I've done that. I've been at highway speeds, I've been through the mountains with this system, and it has worked phenomenal. I've been so happy with the way it performs. It just really makes the trailer feel like it's just attached to the truck and just solid. It's kind of even hard to explain. It's just one of those feelings that you get when you're pulling a trailer, whether it feels like it's good and solid and attached, and there's not a lot of clunking going on or anything like that, and so it has worked very well. So I'm very happy with that. Now there is one thing that there's kind of good and bad with this for me. I first used this hitch for a trip or two without using the weight distribution bars on it, and so at first honestly I wasn't too sure if it was going to work for me, and then and I'll show you that, but then after I actually hooked the whole system up, dialed it in like it's supposed to be, I was blown away at how well it actually worked. It's designed to work in one specific way, as far as putting your calculations in and getting the pressure on the ball where it needs to be and all that, and it works phenomenal once it's all set up. I'm super happy with that. But sometimes for me, I have other trailers, and so I may not need the weight distribution. I just want to throw the hitch in the truck and hook the trailer up. And on the little attachment where the ball goes in, it is removable, I should say. You can replace it with a different size ball in there if you wanted to. So you can actually just pull this pin and it will pop right out. So, but because of that pin, the ball has some play in it. And when I first used the hitch without the weight distribution and pulling the camper, the ball would move and I'd come to a stop. I wouldn't really feel it while I'm stopping, but when I come to a resting stop, when the truck rests, I feel a clunk clunk, and that's basically because the ball that's in here, it has a little bit of movement, but and you know, it's designed to be that way, so I mean it's perfectly safe, I'm sure, and you know, haul the camper just fine. But I could notice that, and so I'm no expert at hitches, but I did notice while we were traveling 2 hours each way to go camping this weekend, it really did feel like I could feel the movement of the ball and the trailer connected. So, but with that movement in the ball, just even when there's nothing on it, or now just pushing on it with the camper connected to it, I really do think that I could feel that in the truck. And I think it's that play is in that ball. So not real crazy about that. I mean, it's made to do that, I suppose. I just don't really like the feeling of it, but because, you know, one thing I do try to do is take a lot of the play out of the hitch. That's why I use these anti-rattle clamps, such as this one right here. Takes the play out of the extension there, and then I use the one here on the hitch. So this whole hitch does not have play, does not move up and down. So the play that I'm feeling, I believe, is in that ball going clunk, 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 clunk. And whether I'm crazy about that, you know, compared to the balls on the other hitch that I have where it's just, you know, bolted on, it's super tight. So you can feel that little bit of play in there. But once I dialed it in, got the weight distribution bars on, it just works amazing. So very happy with that. This is the again, the middleweight from WaySafe. You can also get a heavier version if you need something that, I'm not even sure what it goes up to. I think they have one that may go up to 20,000 pounds or so. I'm not even sure. I didn't even look at those because this one rated at 12,500 pounds is going to pull anything I need it to pull and use, even with my car hauler, with it being a 10K trailer. So it's going to do everything I need it to. You know, if I was going to haul some heavy equipment or something like that, then I would obviously get, you know, the stronger version of it. But it works amazingly well. I would highly recommend this WaySafe middleweight if you're going to be pulling a travel trailer. You know, it is a little expensive, so that's why I want to throw that Fastway E2 system out there from Etrailer as well. You know, it's again a little bit more budget friendly, but this one, being able to dial it in and get it, you know, where it, you know, going through the app, putting the measurements in, dialing it in to the exact amount of pressure that needs to be between the truck and the trailer, it's amazing. It's well worth the extra money, in my opinion. You know, if you can afford to pay a little bit extra, highly recommend this WaySafe hitch. Thanks for sticking around while I show you our WaySafe distribution hitch, the middleweight class. That thing is a champ. I'm so looking forward to using that in the future, as well as not only using it on our camper, but on our car hauler, so it's going to work out great. So very excited about that. You should definitely check one out. You can go to Etrailer online. I'll put a link down below to this hitch, as well as the Fastway E2 if you're looking for something a little bit more budget friendly. Etrailer has a wide selection of hitches with or without weight distribution, so you can just go there and check it out. I'm sure they're going to have whatever you need there. So thanks for sticking around, checking it out, and we'll see you next time on Runaway Roses. Bye bye.